Hello everyone, welcome to Club Live here on Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. It's Friday night, we are live as always, so get yourself subscribed to the channel, get yourself involved in the live chat as we discuss a positive week in terms of being a Rangers. Well, yeah, positive enough. It's two positive Friday podcasts in a row, so I'll take that. I am Scott Carney. Joining me tonight, first of all, is Ali Pearson. Ali, how are you?
Yeah, very well. As you say, it's Friday. Tomorrow is Saturday. It's a 3 o'clock kickoff again at Ibrox.
Spoiled we are, mate. Spoiled.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say that I'm looking forward to going to Ibrox after the last two results at Ibrox, but under our new temporary management in Barry Ferguson, yes, I am. I think it'll be a full house tomorrow. It is Armed Forces Day, I believe, tomorrow as well at Ibrox. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, very much so. And Ross McLean, Ross, how are you?
Good evening, gents. Yeah, all good. Thank you, mate. All good. First pod of the new era for me. I'm just a quick spoiler. I am rather excited with how the rest of the season's looking, which is something I didn't think I'd be saying. So it's good to have that wee bit of a buzz back, and yes, so some positive things to chat about on this fine Friday evening.
Yes, absolutely. I'm going to quickly rip this plaster off at the start of this podcast. Ross, did you see Barry Ferguson play for Rangers?
I did not, mate. I was still sticking
God.
crayons up my
You're
nose.
so old, Ali.
Honestly, this
You're so old, mate.
I was I was looking before. Be it I was 2005 born, so he was like I was very much a wee back then. But we don't need to talk about that, gents. It's all good. It's all good.
No, I mean, it's not you can't help when you were born. It's more on how old Alistair and I are getting now, because we can go back and talk about Loudrop. And there's people that watch us that can go back and talk about people that we never seen. I mean, people seen Cooper playing for Rangers, and me and Alistair now. You didn't see Cooper, didn't you know, Ali? You never seen Cooper? Must have been just before.
Too early. I mean, are probably earliest when you're going Gascoigne, Loudrop, when we were kind of young enough to remember stuff like that.
Yeah. That was the kind of my team when it started. That was the kind of team that I was into. But yeah, I literally thought about that about 2 minutes before we came on. I was like, I bet you Ross didn't see Barry, and I'm like, I am old. Like I am. I'm one of the guys that people look at and go, you're like an old man. Do you know what I mean? So yes. Anyway, we'll carry on. Hello, chat. Hello, everybody. Sorry, I just went into a moment there of thinking how old I was. Hello, chat. Nice to see you all. Thank you for joining us tonight. And yeah, we'll get into all things Rangers over the last till since we've been on Monday. Ali, we will start with the win on Wednesday against Kilmarnock. A strange game, really, to be honest, but a one that I think we all felt pretty positive about at the end. At the time, yes, there was 30 minutes, especially that first 30 minutes was a task, if it's saying the least, probably one of the worst performances I've seen from Rangers this season, obviously under Clement as well. Rangers were so bad in that first half an hour, apart from an effort from Megaman that I did forget to mention on the pod on Wednesday, but I was a wee bit shell-shocked, I think, by the performance that I seen on the start of the first half. But your overall take on the game, mate, the way the things panned out, and your say on Barry Ferguson's first game in charge as Rangers manager.
It was Rangers' greatest hits rolled into one game. In that game, it was I had everything. I mean, we were in our group chat, and I'm sure there's lots of other folk that have group chats involving Rangers too. But the first 30 minutes, Carney, I honestly thought with Barry Ferguson in charge, you would see something from these players. Shows what you're about, and the first 30 minutes was abysmal. And it was like, I mean, we were lucky not to be 3-0 down, let's be honest about it. The back line, you'll probably come on to Robin Proper. I've said it for months. The guy's not good enough. He shouldn't be anywhere near a Rangers jersey going forward. I felt for the boy in Ciala, but Barry Ferguson made a big change for me in terms of he changed it after 30 minutes. He brought in Ciala off. I mean, he could have brought Proper off, let's be honest about it. He brought in Ciala off, put Tav into right centre half, shuffled Proper along and put Jeffy at right back. And after that, Carney, I just thought we looked a different team. I thought we got a really good goal under Cherny, and how many goals has he scored for us now? Got us back into the game. Dessers, as he does, misses umpteen sitters in the first half. When I was saying the group chat, I would have taken him off at half time. Barry Ferguson kept him on, and I thought Rangers were very good the second half, moving the ball quick, looked dangerous. Fantastic goals by Dessers. You've got to give the guy credit. He never lets his head go down at all, Dessers. And overall, to go to Rugby Park, first game under Barry Ferguson, bit of a banana skin with the players we've got. Fantastic. And I loved seeing Barry Ferguson go for the support at the end there and give the kind of punch of the chest and give the kind of salute to the Rangers fans. It was good. He was kicking every ball, Ferguson, the touchline, as was Neil McCann as well. It was bizarre seeing it. But yeah, a fantastic start for Barry Ferguson. And I mean, the players this season have been shocking. Let's not miss that. But I will give them credit in terms of they came back and they showed that they do have something there. Under Clement, it's easy to say that now because Clement's not here. I don't think we win that game. I don't think Clement makes that change after 30 minutes. He might do it at half-time when the game's probably gone for us. But Barry Ferguson's first big call as a Rangers manager, he got it right and he got his 3 points for me. So it was positives.
Yeah, absolutely. Ross Alley makes a great point. I do think we see that start to the game under Clement. I really do, but it's how we react after it that I don't think. Well, I know it's all easy to say now because Clement's not the manager, but I don't believe if I had to put money on it, there wouldn't have been ever a reaction like that by Rangers if we'd have went 2-0 down within that space of time. With the way things have been going, especially after Saturday, with Clement still in charge, I really honestly think that finishes whatever it wants to be to Kilmarnock because I don't think Rangers were getting back into it. However, Barry Ferguson is making us all giddy. He's making me feel like a very young Rangers fan yet again. Not very young. I was younger at the time, but I suppose I was very young. But it's goddamn refreshing, Ross, and it really is refreshing.
Oh mate, it is. See clicking on the Rangers press conference, click up on your notifications and you want to listen to it. Just wow. Yeah, obviously I wasn't fortunate enough to kind of witness the prime Ferguson days, but like I'm kind of I understand plenty what he means to Rangers. Obviously, I have he's massive Rangers fans. They tell me about the players of old. Obviously, listen to Ferguson on the radio. He bleeds blue. He absolutely bleeds blue. And for me, I think it's a really good, interesting appointment as well. To the end of the season, if there's ever a guy we've wanted in the dressing room to give players a kicking, there's your guy right there. And I think definitely that first half hour, I could only catch the first half hour of the game on Wednesday, and thankfully I caught the worst half hour of it, just my luck. So I saw all of Rangers in their glory. But one thing that he showed Ferguson though is that if it's not working, he'll rip it up. And I don't know if it was maybe that substitution that just kind of made the players question, all right, if I'm not performing, I'm Orski. So already he's shown signs that Ferguson that almost. He's making decisions that us as fans sitting back home would do. He gets it. He bleeds blue. He understands what it's all about. So I love it, mate. I absolutely love it. And here's to many more Barry moments because there'll be plenty of them this season for sure.
Yeah, I think so. He is. He's making it. He's making us want to love Rangers again, and I don't know if I'm ready for it. I don't know if I'm over the X yet, mate, to love again. Because I was hurt so much under Clement. But look, the decision that he did make in the first half in terms of taking off Enciala. Look, I feel for Enciala. I really do. There could have been literally anybody on that pitch taken off within 30 minutes. That's how poor everybody was. It was a shocking team performance. It really was. From back to front, it could have been any one of them. The decision had to be made for it to be Enciala. I don't think it's always going to be blown out of proportion when he makes that decision because, in my opinion, Proper was worse than him. But I can get why he's left Proper on because he's thought, right, well, we're a bit more experienced there. I'm going to move Proper to left centre half and I'm going to move James Tavernier, who we'll come to. But it's a big decision in the game, mate, and it changes the tide. After that, Rangers would begin to dominate the game. I thought we were pretty unlucky not to be at least level at half-time with the chances that we created. But these big decisions, as Ross said, the biggest thing about Barry Ferguson being there is he is a fan. He is what we are. He's been lucky enough to live. I mean, he's not only living the dream, he's living the fairy tale now, because he's now managing Rangers, which is probably something he never expected to happen. But to make the big calls, he will get the support from the crowd. It won't be a difficult decision for him to make, because no one will really question it, because he thinks the same way we do. Obviously, as a fan, obviously as a manager, it's slightly different, but as a fan, he thinks the way we do. That's a massive thing he's got going in his favour.
Yeah, definitely. He's one of us, Barry Ferguson. He bleeds, as Ross says, he bleeds blue blood. Ex-Rangers captain. He's won, 5 titles with Rangers and umpteen cups as well. He's got it all, Barry Ferguson. He's obviously, in his career before Rangers, Rangers manager, he was obviously a pundit, etc. So he's watched Rangers all this season. He's put his opinions in Rangers. He knows about this Rangers team. He knows how fragile they are, and it was a huge call. The boy in Ciala, I did say, Carney, when we were talking on it on Tuesday night, and I gave my kind of team, I did say I would have pulled him out because of St Mirren, in terms of get ruffled by their hammer throwers, and I thought, going to Kilmarnock, they'll do the exact same thing. They did. The boys went kind of backwards, but he's young, he's hardly played first team football in Ciala. He probably needs next season in Ciala, because we've got guys coming back. We'll probably go into the market. I mean, it's a discussion further down the line, but he could probably do with going out and loan next season in Ciala to a Scottish Premier League team high up in an example like a Hearts or something, if they would take him. Give him a year in Scottish football, let him get used to it. But he'll come back from it. Robin Proper, for me, I'm
He's
scunnered with this. He's worse than a donkey, Carney. The guy's 31 years of age, whatever it is, ex-FC 20 captain. He looks like he's never seen a football before.
Wednesday night especially. Wednesday night, he looked like that the first time he'd ever seen a football, or a plastic pitch for that matter. Well, he couldn't get anything.
I'm not having it with the plastic pitch. We know what the plastic pitch is. He's done this previously on grass parks as well, so this isn't a first for Robin Proper. The guy hasn't got it. He's powder puff. He's weak, and it sounds bad that I'm slotting a Rangers player here, but he's not good enough, and we need to ship this guy into the summer. We are far too weak as a football team, Carl. I've been saying it for months, probably a good year or so now. We need a big, solid centre half that's going to win balls, and a guy in the middle of the park as well. Robin Proper, for me, Wednesday night was an utter embarrassment, and I don't want it anywhere near a Rangers jersey on Saturday. I'm glad to hear that Suter, Balogun and Sterling are back in training now.
It's funny that, isn't it? It's funny that they're all...
That's funny these guys arrived back.
It's amazing that it is. It's an amazing turn of events.
But Suter, for me, was extremely... Proper was extremely lucky for me on Wednesday that he wasn't hooked as well. And it's a bad state of affairs that we brought James Tavernier into right centre-half, and instantly he just organised it, and he was our best centre-half by a mile. Suter later on in the game nearly sold us again. I keep saying Suter, Proper later on in the game nearly sold us again, but I'm sick of Robin Proper. I've seen him too many times this season. He's had, let's be honest about it, let's be kind about it, a very small purple patch at one point. He was all right in Europe at times, but Scottish football domestically, he's not good enough, and he shouldn't be near a Rangers jersey from now to the end of the season for me. I don't want to see him. And I know we've done the presser today. I think I've not even watched it. I couldn't bring myself to watch it because I'm honestly sick of the guy. But he just doesn't suit Scottish football, and that goes down to recruitment. Why are we recruiting these guys if they can't play in Scottish football? Mm-hmm. But Barry Ferguson made the call. Sorry, I went a wee bit of a rant there, but Barry Ferguson went on. He did the right call at the right time. I felt for the boy in Ciala, but it was the right call, and it got Rangers back in the game, and ultimately we won the game. So, yeah. I mean, let's be honest about it. We're all sitting in group chats after 25, 30 minutes going, I'd change this right now. And he did it at the side of the park. So, well done, Barry Ferguson.
Absolutely, yeah. And Blue Bills are Blue makes a point. Question for the panel: who's better, Proper or Davies? You can't.
Ben Davies by a country mile. There you go.
But I don't think the Davies was poor as well up here, but right now he's having a stormer. But again, it's just suited for the game up here, isn't it, more than anything else? And Proper's just not physically demanding enough. He really isn't in order to really command a backline. Ross, your thoughts on, obviously Ensala getting took off. We'll gloss over the awkward part where he went to shake Barry Ferguson's hand and Barry wasn't looking at him. I thought, I was very awkward. One of the moments you want the ground to open up and swallow him. But look, it's not a personal reflection on Ensala. I really don't think it is. Look, Robin Proper is Robin Proper. He would know what he is. Barry's probably thought about experience more than anything else. But are you with Ali? For me, I wouldn't be sending him out on loan. I've seen enough from him. I know he's had a poor couple of games, but I've seen enough of him to think that he could definitely play a part, even if he's the centre half that starts on the bench and he's on for certain games where he can play. I've seen enough of him that I quite like him. He's calm, composed. It's all about how he bounces back from a poor couple of games, surely.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think there was for the short I did watch the game. There was. You could see that Ensala's got a wee bit of confidence about him. Even there was one time it was at a corner was coming in and he's winding up the strikers like he's probably told to do. But I think he has got a wee bit about him, Ensala. Obviously coming from a very history rich club in AC Milan, he's gonna have a wee bit of something. But I do like him. Obviously the last two games have been not been his finest hour, that's for sure. But we've also seen that, man of the match after man of the match performance from Ensala. So I do think he's somebody who can develop under us, yes. But I think for the time being, he can be a starting centre back for Rangers. It is just finding that consistency and just finding his feet. I do think, again, as we say with Bias Ferguson, fully kind of understanding Rangers, he'll probably have a good approach of how to manage him. He'll know that, if he does bring him out at the weekend, then yes, that's fine. But he won't be out in the shadow realm. We won't see him till Easter. He'll be back in before we know it. But I do think I would probably be holding on to it. I think Ali makes a good point. Put him out on loan to get him some minutes would probably be beneficial to him. But I do think he can contribute first, lads. I reckon he could probably come in and do a bit of a solid. It's one thing that was mentioned today by Ferguson is that we are light in centre backs, like so light, and it's we speak about the lads coming back. All three of them are injury prone, so we're very much in a bit of a tricky one. But for me, I'd be keeping hold of Ensala. I do like him, and I hope that he can bounce back, which I'm sure he will.
Yeah, I do think it is remarkable that after you defensive-minded players that have been injured for so long, Clement leaves and I'm fit, by the way. Rangers winning Wednesday, I'm fit. No, I can play, Gaffer, no problem at all.
Can I say something, Carney, though?
You can,
What
mate?
does it say for the boy Fernandes?
I know.
How can he not get a game when we're that terrible?
Yeah, I agree. I do find it slightly strange. We've not seen very much of him at all. I think he's not even played an hour yet. I don't think for us that we've seen. Yeah, bizarre, really strange. I don't know what that says about him. Look, is that too big a risk for Ferguson to make two centre half changes in the same game? Is that too much of a risk to do that? And
have the hooked proper.
Yeah, but I know, but it would have been a hell of a call. It'd have been a hell of a call if it would have been Fernandes and Tav on the back line. Do you know what I mean? That's quite a call to make. So I do understand the kind of clamour for it, and I do. Obviously, we need to see more of Fernandes before we've got any real right to really say anything about him. Yeah, you're right though. But the situation that we are in, it doesn't look like he's getting a sniff, that boy. So another one of the decisions to sign him where you're kind of left scratching your head, I suppose. But we'll see what happens. We'll see if Barry uses him for the rest of the season. We'll stick where we are. We'll stick with what we're talking about. We'll talk about the back line again, and James Tavernier moving into the right centre half, and as Ali mentioned, becoming the best centre half on the pitch, which is pretty remarkable. We're coming towards the weekend's game, mate. We're obviously at Ibrox tomorrow, and he is approaching, if he's chosen to start, which he will be, his 500th appearance for Rangers. No mean feat, that, mate. That's quite an achievement for anybody to make 500 appearances for one club. Will it be at centre half? What do you think? Do you think that's something that Barry Ferguson will continue to explore? At Ibrox, I doubt it. I'm not going to lie. I think he'll move him back to the right-hand side again, the right-back position even. But just on the achievement itself, people are always going to have their say on Tavernier. Has he underachieved here? Yes, probably. I still don't think he's the biggest issue with the club. I think a lot of it comes from a combined things. I think he should have won more, and the serial loser tag can be put at him, but he's been there and he's never shied away. I think I can only remember one injury spell, maybe two injury spells where he's been forced not to play. Apart from that, he's been there. He does give everything. You can clearly see that he loves the football club, and Barry Ferguson has made it quite clear that he'll remain the captain and that he trusts Tavernier and he's going to be one of his trusted players for the rest of this season. So I don't expect the Tav Brigade to be too pleased the fact that you'll be seeing a lot of James Tavernier for the rest of this season. But Ali, a remarkable achievement by James Tavernier to reach 500 appearances, and will it be centre half he starts tomorrow?
Yeah, it's a fantastic achievement to such a modern day player now to have 500 games at a football club. For a guy, I keep harping my way back to when Mark Warburton brought him in for £200,000 from, was it Wigan he came from way back then? Yes, he should have won more as a Rangers player. But I listen to Barry Ferguson talk about him and I agree with him. He never hides Tav and he's always there. I mean, that backs up the stats in terms of how many games he's played. We've looked at is Sterling the natural replacement for him, but can't trust him because he's injury prone all the time. Tav will play 50, 60 games a season for you. I thought he showed a captain's performance on Wednesday night when he played right centre half. He played it against, was it Man United he played it against at Old Trafford? He played there as well. And I thought he was very good as well. I even texted Mr. Haymarch the other day after the game, and I even said, "What about Tav?" And he says, "Let's not get too carried away."
He's the capo of the FS Staff Brigade.
Yes, he is. But yeah, I mean, Tav's time at Rangers for me is up. We need to bring in a new captain next year, along with a manager. But 500 appearances for Rangers is no mean feat for a player. He's been a good bit of business for Rangers. When I say £200,000, we brought him from Wigan. He came from, and he'd been round the houses a few times before. I know he's kind of started his career at Newcastle, but he'd bounced around a few teams. Went to Wigan. Mark Warburton picked him up, and he's been at Rangers for the best part of 8-9 seasons now. So, yeah, well done to him. The only criticism you can say, Carney, like you were saying, is he's not won enough trophies. But that's not just down to James Tavernier. That's down to the rest of the players he plays with. And I agree, he's not the issue in this Rangers team. There's bigger issues in this Rangers team. But he never hides. He never hides for me. Yeah, he's maybe not as vocal or captain as you want to say. I did see and I did like it when Hadji fell down and started rolling about the park. And I did it the other night. Tav screamed at me, say, "Get back up." I like that. But no, Tav's been a great bit of business for Rangers, and you'll miss him when he leaves. A lot of Rangers fans might not agree with that, but you will, to replace him. So well done to him. And yes, I think he'll be back at right back on Saturday. I think one of these injured players will come back and take that spot for him at right centre half.
Yeah, I just thought he was close to being my man of the match on Wednesday night. He really was, for just his performance, for moving into the right back position and just kind of taking it in his stride, which we have seen him do it before. We really have. Ross, being the young one, the young gun, mate, on this podcast, Tavernier must be like, again, I hate harping on about the past. I don't mean that, but like Ali and I seen likes of like Gough, McCoist, Haitley, maybe not so much Haitley, but McCoist, Ian Ferguson, players that stuck around at the club for years. They were there for so long. It's not a thing you see very often in modern football now. It's not really, you very rarely have a player that's been at a team for 9-10 seasons. It doesn't tend to happen as much as it should. The grand scale of things for you, where does James Tavernier sit in terms of the players that you've seen play for Rangers? What's your opinion on Tavernier? Because yes, look, I think he's he's underachieved. Don't think he's everybody's cup of tea. The captain is always going to take the flak when things have been going bad, and unfortunately for him, they have been bad far too often than they should have been. Without him, we don't make the European final, in my opinion, or that run that we had. Without Tavernier, we don't make that because he was made such a major part in that. So what's your take on him? Where does James Tavernier stand for you? And it's a remarkable achievement for coming up to 500 appearances for Rangers.
Oh no, it's ridiculous for Tav. It's absolutely ridiculous. For me, and I hope this doesn't wind up a lot of folk. For me, Tav is. I'll look back at Tav, and he was my first proper Rangers captain, if you will. He was the first kind of figurehead of what kind of Rangers kind of meant to me, if that makes sense. Like the nights, especially in recent times with that run to Seville, Tav single handedly provided some of the greatest moments I think I've easily that I've witnessed as a Rangers fan. Potentially might ever, you never know, but I can't be more appreciative of Tav. Yeah, he's definitely for me. I'll look back in many years' time. I'm sure use will with captains as well. Obviously, I know he hasn't won the trophies that we'd hope, but in terms of having that one figure there, I'll always look at Tav in a good light. And yeah, he's a guy who I hope gets the ovation that he deserves tomorrow. I was looking at the stats earlier on. 269 contributions in 499 games, so that's more than half the time he's making a goal contribution from right back. It's you could potentially go as far as say you'll never see that again as a full back. It's those sort of that territory for stats. So for me, Tav, as much as yes, he will sometimes frustrate, I love the guy to bits. Absolutely love the guy to bits, and he is coming to the end of his Rangers career, I'm sure. But what a trip it's been, and I'm sure he's probably slightly gutted in the back of his mind, thinking that that is kind of coming to the end. But I just hope that it goes out in a good reception for him. So yeah, fantastic for the captain, and yeah, hopefully a wee goal would send him nicely on his 500th game.
Absolutely, mate. Look, I agree. James Tavernier's. He's always been one, and my dad used to say it all the time. Under Tav, and people used to be shouting at him, giving him a hard time and all that. My dad was like, I absolutely love him. He's like, he's tremendous. Like, my dad's obviously grew up watching teams for 50 odd years. My dad had been watching games probably longer, 60 odd years. My dad had been watching Rangers, and he'd seen some players come and go, but he always said he's like, just stop giving him a hard time. He's like, he's the guy that can contribute. I do think, and I don't want to go back on anything that I've said previously, I do think Tav has to go at the end of the season. I think it's coming to the point where we have to move on from James Tavernier as Rangers captain, as being part of it. I do think it's crucial in terms of the club moving forward, but I'm not going to sit and bash a guy. I'm really not going to sit and bash a guy because, yeah, you can band the underachieving thing at him, but he's brought me some pretty good highlights in my life, and as Ali mentioned, I think he will be. I think you'll notice him when he's not there. I generally do think you'll notice him. You'll notice it when he's not there. So yes, congratulations to James Tavernier to making your, I presume, making your 500th appearance tomorrow. I'm be shocked if he's not in the starting 11 tomorrow. Put it that way, I'd be absolutely shocked. I back a wee bit on that Barry Ferguson. Ali, it's quite clear to see that he's demanding standards. He's demanding dominance on the ball. He's demanding a certain attitudes and traits for Rangers going forward. And yeah, I think he's really going to hammer them home. I think that's quite clear that he's going to do that. Even for the players to take on maybe 3/4 of that, they're going to stand their still in a hell of a better stead, mate, instead of acting like they don't care, acting like they're not determined, desired, they have the right attitude, because quite clearly I think they'll know I'm not going to get away with this half-arsed. Like, for example, the performance on Saturday against St Mirren, the players were just there because they had to be. I don't see any of that kind of thing happening under Ferguson. And I know, look, it's all, we're riding on the Barry Ferguson crest of a wave here. I do understand that. But see, just to get a team looking on the pitch like they give a little bit of a something, it's going to be good to see. And Ferguson I mean, you could pick probably 5 people that we've seen in our lifetime, maybe even less, mate, that would be to go in and do that in order to demand these standards. Barry Ferguson's towards the top of that list, though. So if anything, these players, they've got small wins on their hands here just by looking that they care or acting and showing like they care, something along those lines.
But Barry Ferguson epitomises a Rangers player for me. I know, obviously, when he left Rangers near the end because of this nonsense away with Scotland, Alan McGregor, but on the park, he was a leader for me. He led God knows how many Rangers teams to 3 points. He drove Rangers teams at points, and he won't suffer fools gladly in terms of these players that are there at the moment. It's just the basics. These players need to show the basics in terms of application, desire. That's all it is. I mean, it's not. I mean, you play these teams like Kilmarnock the first 30 minutes. They were showing that they cared, that they wanted it. That's what you need to be doing every week as a Rangers player, especially when you're at Ibrox in front of 50-odd thousand people. You need to show that. We've paid our good money to go and see Rangers, and these players need to go and show that they care. So, yeah, I'd like to think he'll put a rock up their arse. I don't think, listen to his interview today, I don't think he's went in at half-time in the Kilmarnock game and gave them the hairdryer treatment. I think he can kind of put an arm around them at certain points and tell them, look, you've a good last 15 minutes, go and do that in the second half and you'll win a game of football. But, these players will know exactly what it's about to play for Rangers and whether they've got it. And they're playing for, we've got a big game in a week's time, on Thursday night, away at Fenerbahce. These players are playing to play in that game. And then the week after, we're back at Ibrox, hopefully with something to play for, to potentially go into the last 8 of the Europa League, which is big for us as a football club. So it's there for these players. They need to show it for their futures as well, not just because Barry Ferguson is the manager. There's going to be, hopefully, a new regime in the summer, a brand new manager. These guys are playing for their future in terms of, do they want to be there next season? And they need to show something. I think he sees certain things in players. One of the players you maybe don't like, Carney, in terms of Diamandi's one. I think he sees something in him. Rask and obviously midfielders. But he knows there's good players there at Rangers. But they need to show the application, the desire, the everything. Bloody Haymarch kept going on about the basics. You need to show, and then your quality will shine through in the football park. But these guys haven't been doing it all season for Rangers. Half-assed. The Queen's Park was a great example of a team for me that went out and thought, we just need to show up. That's all we need to do, and you can't do that as a football player. And I think he'll be using that first 30 minutes at Kilmarnock and probably showing the players that can't happen again. You need to go out for minute 1 and go over these teams. Rangers should be bulldozing these teams. Bloody Postecoglou, as we say, wrote the blueprint in terms of these teams in Scotland. Go out and blow them away in 30 minutes. They should be doing it, and the game's done. Teams shouldn't be coming to Ibrox fancying it. They should be coming to Ibrox fearing playing Rangers. That's the way it's been for years, and it should be. So, I think he'll bring a bit of that back, Carney, and I think you'll see a different attitude in these players. Well, I hope so, because if they don't, they'll be out the door. But these players are playing for their future. So we'll see on Saturday, because they've got a big opportunity. They're playing in front of a full house. It wouldn't have been a full house if Clermont was there. I don't know if it would have been a full house if the game had went another way on Wednesday night, but I'm pretty sure tomorrow will be a full house. As I say, it's Armed Forces Day. There'll be a decent feel factor in terms of Barry Ferguson being his first managerial game with Rangers at Ibrox. So these players have got a platform tomorrow to go and shows that they care and that they actually have something to play for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I agree, and I think the way that the last hour of the game went on Wednesday night set the tone for the attitude, for the application, for the desire, for the way that you should be approaching games, for the determination, even if things are going wrong, that you continue to believe in what you're doing and you keep going and you keep doing it, and it will work, and it did work. And again, that was all a shift in mentality. There's no doubt the team suffered and they're suffering in confidence levels. I don't think there's any getting away from that. But just doing the basic, as you said, Ali, we have enough quality within the team to go and beat these teams. But it shouldn't become a task. It shouldn't become a game where we are dreading it because we don't know what Rangers are going to show up. That shouldn't be happening at our level. And I'll defend myself with Diomande. I've watched Diomande when it was playing under Clermont, and I mean by sat Ibrox, and I've watched him for like 20 minutes at a time, and some of the stuff he does is just absolutely crazy, genuinely mental. I'm not saying that I'm set in stone with him. I'm really not set in stone with him because he was the one with 2 assists. I think he got in Wednesday. Was it 2 assists he got on Wednesday? I think it was 2. Well, again, which is full credit to him. I have seen moments from him, but just nowhere near enough. Absolutely nowhere near enough. And he's sometimes just very frustrating for me to watch. So, yes, it happens sometimes with some players. I've not completely jumped on. I'm not like full Ali Pearson on him yet. He's still got time yet. He's still not got time. He's not a Brandon Barker as of yet. So, yeah, that's my defence for that. But, yes, Ross, in the press conferences as well, he's been asked a few times, Barry Ferguson, regarding what he's going to do with youth players and whatever else. And the comment that I love to hear from him was, I'm not just going to play them because they're young. I'm not just going to play them because everybody thinks I should play them. They're going to have to show me on the training pitch that they want to play for this club. That for me is also refreshing. That's one of those things that, I believe that Barry Ferguson, it's not a job for the boys kind of thing. Is he'll be playing the best team possible that he thinks have got the right attitude, the right mentality, the right, they've trained the right way, etc., to go out and get Rangers the 3 points. And if he's setting these standards, mate, and I know after I've watched Barry's full career at Rangers, there is not many that, as I say, that have as high standards as he does. So if he starts to play youth players, that we should all be encouraged, I think, because that will show you that every one of them's they're kind of with him.
No, you're spot on, mate. You're spot on, and I do hope that's the case. I do hope it's the case. Obviously, with Barry Ferguson being a midfielder that I was, I hope that this is a chance for your likes of your Barron and your Rice to really take some learning off him. If there's anybody who you'd want a Barron or a Bailey Rice to learn off, it's going to be a Barry Ferguson. If they can be the future Barry Ferguson, then that's superb. Yeah, I do hope that I think he will stick to his word. He's not the sort of guy that he's going to say that and he's going to go back on. I do hope that he does kind of stick with that. So yeah, it's just exciting, mate. He's saying all the right words, and a lot of folk will say it is just words. But for now, I'll get behind it because he's backing it up. He's making those decisions like that in Ciala substitution. He's honest. He's saying how he is. It was in his first interview that he sat down with RTV. He's just like, I'll be honest, Rangers have been inconsistent. He's just refreshing to us fans. So yeah, I do hope that he can get the best out of players and hopefully develop them. So that's all we can ask for. But no, again, it is a lot of folk will say it is just words just now, but it's words that I'm sure you boys can agree we can get behind because it's rather exciting as a Rangers fan.
Yeah. I think every Rangers fan's the same, but it's kind of got the fond memories of Barry. You just hang on every word he says now. I'm just like, okay, Barry. Yes, Barry, whatever you say. Look, realistically, right, say he wins every game for the rest of the season, can he possibly be the guy that would take over at Rangers? Possibly with a different backroom staff. I'm not going to say it's like set in stone, but look, there's going to be people already that's like, every time he talks, I'm like, well, you might as well just give me a job now because I'm sold. I'm all in. But I'm always like that with managers. I was the same when Clermont was appointed. I was like, brilliant, yeah, he's the guy for us, whatever. Is there any sort of realistic chance? Do you think in his head he's thinking, God, if I absolutely smash this, imagine he gets us to the last imagine he even gets us to the semi-final. I don't know who we could possibly get in the last 8. I've not looked that far ahead yet.
Bilbao or Roma or something? Is it? Somebody in the chat will tell us.
Yeah, but somebody in the chat will tell us actually. But is there any realistic chance of that? Do you think he's got any of that on his mind? Do you think he's thinking to himself, God, if I absolutely blow this out of water here, I could actually be in the contention of being the next permanent Rangers manager? And would you? Is there a level he would have to get to for you to think, oh, he could do this? I mean, for a guy to come in and set standards and let people know what Rangers is all about, again, that varies it. Do you know what I mean? So there's attributes, then there's traits of his where I look at and go, well, I could see like it's attractive in terms of what we look at as a Rangers manager.
He's very similar to, you want to say, a Steven Gerrard when he came into Rangers. No real managerial experience. Barry Ferguson is managed at a very low standard, and then he fell away, didn't really do much, and he's been in the media. He's very good in front of the camera in terms of what he says. He says what we think, basically. He doesn't sugarcoat it, doesn't take the piss. But in terms of Rangers going forward, he's there to the end of the season. And I think he knows he's there to the end of the season. I know us as Rangers fans want to romanticise and think, well, Barry Ferguson. I mean, I would love Barry Ferguson to be the Rangers manager next season, lead us to win the treble. I would love that. But realistically, I think we need a guy in the summer who's been there and done it. Very good coach, a guy who can change stuff, a guy who'll bring in his own captain, etc. No, I don't think Barry Ferguson will be Rangers manager next season. I think he knows he's been brought in here for 3 months to steady the ship. He's playing the games domestically are dead rubbers in terms of they don't really mean anything in terms of the league. Yes, you've got the 2 old firms there, which obviously want to beat Celtic every time, but they don't really matter for anything in terms of the league. The Europa League, for me, as I've said all season, is a sideshow. Yes, he might get us through the Fenerbahce round. He might get us through the next. You never know. You never know with Europe, the way it lands. But next season for me, no, he can't. I can't see him being Rangers manager next season. I really can't. I just think with potential new owners coming in, I think they'll want to bring their own man in. And as I say, a captain to come in for in terms of the park as well. Could he be part of a backroom staff next season? In terms of a kind of, I know Alex Ray was there this season with Clement, who really didn't do much in the background, but could he be a guy in the background as a kind of link between the new manager and us as fans? You never know. But I can't see it, Carney. I would love it. I would love it because I love Barry Ferguson as a player, as a man, and I love what he's doing right now. He speaks like a Rangers fan. So, no, I can't see it next season, Carney.
I can feel that you're almost like pulling yourself going, I really want to say yes. Like, I really want, because look, it would be, I know, it would be the perfect story, wouldn't it? I mean, it would be absolutely tremendous. They would hate it. We would love it. It would just be brilliant if you just ran amok and became a next Rangers man. But realistically, I know it's not going to happen. Like, it isn't going to happen, but it's a nice thought. Ross, speaking of the old firm, there is fans being allowed back into the stadium, as you put into the group chat today, mate. It was announced by Rangers that there's a 4%, is that right? 4% allocation, no 5, so it has to be 4 for whatever fucking reason. It has to be 4. It's just one of those things, isn't it? This always causes debate every time we bring it up about people saying, "Oh, give them the full Broom loan back, don't dare give them it back," etc., etc. One thing for sure, mate, the fixture has suffered without having away fans attending the game at the respective stadiums. This can only be a good thing for the fixture going forward, no matter what the allocation may be.
Definitely. I'm all for it. And the man himself, Ferguson's for it as well. He was very much in the camp of get the fans back. I think so. That's if 4%. I think it's around 2,000. They'll get Ibrox, 2,400 for us at Parkhead. So as much as a dead rubber. For me, at every old firm we need to be winning. I know that the one old firm I could probably sit back and go, yeah, it was a dead rubber. Was the 3-0 Cantwell last whenever Beale was still here. That didn't matter. But for me, Celtic they lost us in the last game. They'll be looking to they won't be holding anything back in the next 2 old firms. If Ferguson can get 4 points against them, would be remarkable for me. I'd be more than happy with that. So. We need to wait and see. But in terms of the fans coming back, mate, I'm well for it. It's something that the whole world tunes into the Old Firm, especially if it's a 12 o'clock on a Sunday, whatever, and your Premier League games kick off at 3. Everybody's watching the Old Firm. They'll keep it in their diary. So to have that bit of atmosphere back is brilliant, and hopefully being able to politely wind them up. I'll say that. then it's always pleasant. So yeah, we'll see what happens. It's personally, I'd maybe give them the European allocation. Maybe, obviously, I know that there's people in the Brumlin who might suffer from that. So you need to kind of consider for that as well. But I do think it does bring a bit of a buzz, a bit of an atmosphere. You know, when obviously Ryan's on the pod, he spoke about he'd go into the stadium and he'd hear them and the buzz that he'd get. I can't imagine what it would have been like, especially when he seats, sorry, right down at the front. So it is good, mate. It is good. It's good to have them back. And I hope that I see a Barry Ferguson doing the Gerrard, the arms in the air to the camera going over to the away fans. It's just, I'm blinded by the lights, but I hope to be seeing that very, very soon.
I think Ross is right about the dead rubbers for it this season. You mentioned it as well. They pretty much are. These two are probably not. The two old firms are probably not. We need to try and set some form of tone going into the summer. We really do. I know it don't mean much in terms of bragging rights, I don't think, because it'll be quickly played down by them due to the size of the gap at the top of the table and the top of the table even, and probably rightly so, considering how poor Rangers have been this season. But to get away fans back in this, mate, is crucial. It is crucial. As I say, I'm not getting into the debate about what allocation they should have or whatever else. It's just going to need to be what it is. Long story short of that anyway is that they won't get the full Brumlin back. It isn't going to happen. So there has to be some form of compromise anywhere. But look, somewhere even. But look, just having fans back, both sets of fans back for the old firm is crucial for the fixture going forward. It's crucial for Scottish football. I'm sorry to be big-headed about it, but it is.
Yeah, it adds to the spectacle, if you want to say, in terms of having both sets of fans. Now, you see it when you go to Hampden, Carney, which is a dump of a stadium, but when you've got it half and half in Hampden, it adds something extra to it. The hatred between the two sets of the fans is unbelievable. I mean, I love it for 90 minutes. It's absolutely brilliant. Some of the songs that are sang are, obviously we can't say any of them in here, but
you don't sing them though, so you don't, Ali.
No, I don't sing them at all.
You're not for singing them. Good boy.
I'm very PG when I go to Hampden, but
you are.
But yeah, that's only one game when we play each other where there is that real rivalry, because at Ibrox, when we go and play them, it's just us there. So it's even having them in the corner, it adds a wee bit. But now we've given them what Ross was saying, 2,000 fans, which is near enough the European allocation. They'll come right in the Brumlin now, so it'll add something to the game. And for the boys that go to Parkhead all the time as well, the guys that want to go there all the time, they've got a chance to go back there as well. I know it's only 2,400 tickets, which the guys in gold will get probably. So I know went on sale to guys in gold today, so they'll get it. But
you must be top of gold, surely. You're
very close. Aye, yeah. I'm very the top of silver, but I'm still.
Let's not bring up my jersey, mate, because I seem to be going backwards in my jersey, and I've got no idea why. I don't understand it. I just don't get it.
Yeah, but no, it's good to see both sets of fans in the stadium. It's just a pity they couldn't done it the beginning of the next season when we've actually got a chance, because they'll want the two games we're going back in, and they'll be waiting for it, Celtic fans, and fair play to them, because they're that far ahead of us. They'll be waiting to basically rub it right into us when we go there. So, which we would be doing the exact same if it was vice versa. So, it's good to see both sets of fans in, but hopefully next season, Carney, we can get the bragging rights back.
That'd be quite nice, mate. At least being competitive in the league, for example, at the point.
First one's at Ibrox next season, isn't it?
Yeah, with maybe a chance to go top or something like that. That would be quite nice, instead of like not having a chance in hell, really. I mean, stranger things have happened, but no, that's strange in my opinion. But yeah, it's just good to have the fans back. At least there's been some form of agreement, and the tit for tat has been put to bed for now. We'll move on to the game tomorrow. We take on Motherwell. Barry Ferguson's second game in charge. We take on Motherwell at Ibrox at 3 p.m. As I said, Ali said, 3 p.m. in a row. Let's just hope it's very much better than last Saturday. I don't plan to celebrate anything of a joyous nature tomorrow, so I'm not going to jinx the day, which is good. It can't be put on me, as I say, because we wetted my baby's head last week before the game, after the game. But it wasn't an enjoyable game to behold. Motherwell are sitting 8th in the league just now. They are not in the best of forms. It's safe to be safe to say. I think I'm just figuring it out now. There's 2 points behind Hearts in 6th, and then 6 points behind Dundee United in 5th. So, Ali, well, obviously, Motherwell, we just have to hope it's going to be a bit of a better day than what we've seen last Saturday. Obviously, I think. I said it's only been, what you said, 2 training sessions now since he came in, Barry Ferguson, with the team. I'm, again, probably not expecting too much. I do expect probably some tweaks from what we've seen, and I think the first 30 minutes on Wednesday would have taught him a lot. Motherwell will be coming here to do one thing, mate, and that'll be to spoil or to rain all over his parade, even, is what I meant to say. He'll be raining all over his parade. What are you expecting from the game tomorrow?
Expecting the Rangers to go out there and put a performance on and win the game convincingly, as they should do against Motherwell. No disrespect to Motherwell, but Motherwell's obviously got a new manager. Yeah, his first game during the week there, I think they won Motherwell during the week. So he's got a first win under his belt. They'll fancy it. Come to Ibrox, Carney. They would have looked at Queen's Park. They would have looked at St Mirren in terms of how they played against Rangers. So they'll fancy themselves come to Ibrox. I agree. I think they'll come to frustrate the Rangers support and us as a team. But Rangers need to come out the traps. Not this waiting for 30 minutes to come alive and starting the game. Start the game from minute 1. Take it to Motherwell and basically blow them out. Blow them out as a Postecoglou team would do with Celtic, in terms of take it to these teams. Go 1-2-0 up, and then that's the game's dead for these teams, and you can kill them off in the second half. So I'm expecting a performance from this team. They owe us a performance at Ibrox after the last 2 times we've been there, in terms of Queen's Park and St Mirren. So they owe us big time. They should have confidence coming back from 2-0 down at Rugby Park during the week. So they should be going into this game on a bit of a high for me. Fenerbahce is coming up on Thursday night as well, so that's there in the background. So it's all to play for Rangers. So yeah, I'm expecting, and this probably won't happen, but I am expecting a good performance from Rangers and quite a few goals.
Ross, Ali's right, and even Barry's made comment about it. I don't know what Barry Ferguson. I need to start calling his full name, calling the manager Barry. It's like calling Walter Smith Walter. I don't think I would have done that. So I need to start calling him Barry Ferguson. He made comment about it in the press conference about us taking the game to the teams that are coming to Ibrox. They shouldn't want to come and play at Ibrox, and that's crucial for Rangers for the rest of this season. We have to again put a bit of a fear factor in Ibrox that actually they've picked up their form at Ibrox. It's a difficult place to go. We have to very much get over the 2 defeats back to back by 2 teams that should never be winning at Ibrox. No disrespect to either of them, but it should not be happening. But Barry Ferguson's right. We have to go out and we have to take the game to Motherwell. We have to implement our game onto them. No point in just dominating possession, as Philip Clement has shown. It achieves absolutely nothing unless you're scoring goals. So what are you expecting from the game tomorrow? But it is, I say, crucial that Rangers take the game to Motherwell from the start.
Oh, definitely. It's one thing we need to start getting the fear at Ibrox, but we need to start getting the fear to playing Rangers again. Teams can't be fancying their chances against Rangers, home and away. We need to kind of pick that back up. And again, what a guy to try and implement that in Barry Ferguson. So I do just hope it's a good performance for him, mate. Obviously for Armed Forces Day as well, it's a good occasion. So there's plenty to put a good performance on for, that's for sure. Obviously the last time we played Motherwell was just at the turn of the year where we drew 2 each. I always look at the last game that we played, and I'm sorry lads, it's another time we dropped points. I feel like I always have to bring the mood back down because we've inevitably dropped points last time we played.
It wouldn't be club at 22 unless you did, mate. Put it that way. We've always got that. There's always our negative with our positives. Always
consistency is key. So we'll give you that.
Exactly.
But it's just going out there and putting on a performance for the many occasions that it is tomorrow. And yeah, I do hope that we are speaking about some positivity, which would be nice for a change at Ibrox. It's not like it's happened in a while, so yes, please Rangers, that'd be lovely.
Yeah, it would be lovely. It'd be nice to do a reaction pod for the Viceroy. I would imagine will be there afterwards to be smiling about it and not be dreading it, walking the whole way back down Paisy Road West. And yeah, I say even after the game last weekend, and I don't often do this, but in fact, the last time I done it was under Pedro, I think. Ali and I walked out about 80 minutes or something like that. We walked out and I had to convince Ali, don't get me wrong, but I said, Ali, we could be sitting here till tomorrow, mate, and Rangers are not going to score a goal. So let's put ourselves out of misery here, mate, and just get out of town. I don't think I'll be doing that. I don't think it will. Barry Ferguson will allow that sort of performance tomorrow. I really don't. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking to see if there's going to be any changes, any tweaks, any change in personnel. I'm looking forward to seeing all of that, and I do think it will be busier than what it would have been. I think there'll be quite a decent crowd there. On that, Alistair, we'll finish up with your team prediction and your scores. How much of a change do you think there will be tomorrow? Over to you, sir.
I'm making a couple of changes. There'll be one man that you'll be shocked to hear that's coming out of my team. But
Is Barry Ferguson? If Barry Ferguson is playing in the six, then you've not got the same team as me.
I'll tell you what, I love Barry Ferguson in the six. I'd love Neil McCann out wide in the left. Billy Dawes up front, McGregor in goal. That would be ideal because Jack Butland still hasn't been convincing for me. But anyway, Jack Butland in goal. I think Tav will go back to right back. I think we might see John Souttar come back, basically with an eye on Thursday night coming up. Beside him, this could be a bit of a curveball, but Motherwell at Ibrox, why not play him? Fernandez beside John Souttar. Jeffy, who I thought was terrible the first 30 minutes, but then he grew into the game. I'll stick with Jeffy, even though Yilmaz I thought was very good when he came on. The midfield of your pal Diamande, Raskin. I'm pulling Hadji out. I didn't think he was great during the week and he was rolling about like a dick, so he's coming off for me. Barami, who I know maybe isn't a great replacement, but I'm going to give Barami a chance. Tierney in the right, and I'm going to stick Igaman again. I didn't think he was great, but I think you still play him. Igaman and Dessers for me. I'm going to go 4-0 Rangers. Dessers to score the first goal.
Interesting. I think my team will be even more interesting than that, mate, because I don't think he makes a change. I think the same team will start again. I don't see there being much difference. I really don't. I think he'll give Proper and Enciala another chance with it being at Ibrox, because I think he knows he's going to need to kind of rely on him.
He's playing the two of them together.
I can see the steam coming out your ears, mate, but I don't think he's going to risk putting Souttar and Balogun in when you've got the European game coming up. I don't think he'll risk that. I don't think he'll look at it and go, what if they're not 100% fit? Is it worth the risk against Motherwell? I don't see that. So honestly, I'm saying an unchanged team. I think it will be the same starting 11. Honestly, I don't think it will be any different. I really don't. I think he'll save he'll save Souttar Balogun for Thursday. I really do. Maybe Fernandez for Enciala to see if maybe Fernandez has got anything. I don't think he'll drop Proper though. They'll be Proper doing the press conference. I just don't see it. I don't see that happening.
Justin King saying Leon King should start tomorrow.
He's away to Queen's Park.
He's away to Queen's Park.
He's away to Queen's Park. He is.
Oh, Justin.
Yeah, he's away. So he's away on loan, I think, for the rest of the season. So no, as I say, I just don't see there being a great change. I'm going to go for 3-0 Rangers. I'm going to go for Igaman to get back on the score sheet and get a brace, with D9 getting the other one, because he'll miss 5 glaring opportunities where he should bury it, and then he'll score a worldie like he tends to do. Ross, what is your team and score prediction?
So I'm going the same front three and the same midfield as you lads. I do agree with you, Scott, mate. I don't see Proper doing the presser, and because he played the full 90, I reckon Proper's going to start. I do. And I know I can see Ali there. I can see, the steam coming out of
I'm
the ears.
not going.
No, but I completely get it, because you look at the performance and you do question it, but I do see him sticking it in there. So I'm going to go back line, Butland. I'm going to go Yilmaz right back, Tav, Proper, Jefty. I could see him maybe sticking with that, and then Raskin, Dio, Hadji, Dessers, Tierney, Igaman. Again, what I think it's, as in the words of Barry Ferguson, we are light in the defensive areas, so I wouldn't see him making two changes like a Balogun coming in. Hopefully get them some minutes maybe to kind of get them back up to speed. But yeah, I can see Robin Proper starting. So I'm going to go 3-0 Rangers as well, and Mr. 500, James Tavernier, first goal scorer.
I will take it. I'll take any of that. And we've already ruined Ali's day by saying that Robin Proper's going to start, but you just will. I think the shout for Barami, I get that. I do, because I think it's about time that we see if there's, I give him another chance. I suppose we'll give him a chance under a new manager. He did score a goal the other night. So, yeah, possibly Barami for Hadji. Give Hadji a bit of a break. Who knows, because he's not been great. So it'll be interesting to see that. But yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if it's an unchanged team. But a win will do, Rangers. Just a win would be delightful, to go to Ibrox and get a win after the last two games at the stadium would be brilliant. That'll do us for tonight. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for tuning in tonight. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, all the usual stuff. Ali, for tonight, thank you very much.
No problem. At least I could have a couple of bevies in me before I go and see Robin Proper play at Ibrox. Sounds like I'm bashing Robin Proper tonight, and to be fair, I am bashing
He deserves it. Oh yeah, he deserves
it.
Yeah.
But no, I'm looking forward to it. I was actually saying to my missus, and she really didn't care, to be honest, Carney, but I was saying to her that this is our last Saturday game at Ibrox. I think the next one we've got is in the beginning of April. I think it's Hibs or something. Which potentially could get moved, I think, for get far in Europa League. But yes, I'll enjoy a couple of pints before the game. And yes, it's over to Rangers to hopefully put a performance in and a win, which would be nice.
Yeah, and Ross McLean, thank you, mate.
Thank you, mate. It's good to be on speaking some good words about Rangers. It is nice for a change. So I hope everyone enjoys our Saturday, and we shall speak to you all then.
Very much so. We will be back with a reaction pod after the game tomorrow, hopefully speaking about a rather pleasant afternoon at the stadium. As I said, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, all the usual stuff. We'll speak to you tomorrow. We are Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. Cheers, everybody.